Some Vikings were never forgiven. Not by their clan, not by the gods, not even by death. They were sent away, exiled to lands no one dared to follow. Forever. Exile wasn't just punishment. It was a sentence that erased a person from society. For a Viking, community was survival. Your honor, your family, your place at the hearth, all of it depended on belonging. But some acts were so severe, so unthinkable, that the only response was banishment. What could a person do to earn such a fate? And why did the threat of being cast out terrify even the fiercest warriors more than death? The answer lies in fear, belief, and the fragile rules of a world where one mistake could mean you no longer existed. The first whispers start quietly. A broken oath, a stolen trust, a violence against your own. In Viking society, loyalty was more than expected. It was demanded. Every raid, every feast, every winter spent huddled together in the dark was proof of it. Imagine a man who stole from his own kin. The eyes of the clan follow him silently. Children avoid his gaze. The elders murmur, weighing the consequences. He cannot fight his way out. Even if he tried, no ally would stand beside him. His name becomes a shadow, whispered only when necessary, never spoken in warmth. Then comes the meeting at the mound, a circle of stones where the clan gathers. The guilty stand in the center. No jury, no plea, only judgment. The gods see all, the elders say. Your place among us is gone. Exile is not just a journey. It is a death of identity. They strip you of your weapons, your tools, even your clothes sometimes, leaving only what can be carried. You are sent to wander the forests, the icy shores, the marshes beyond the lands of men. Some never survive the first winter. Wolves, hunger, and frost claim them. Others disappear into the fog of distant lands, never to return. Those few who live carry the weight of shame heavier than any blade. Even survival is hollow. The wind whispers of home they can never see again. And yet it wasn't always a punishment for crimes alone. Sometimes it was for fear itself. A warrior who questioned the chieftain, a woman who defied tradition, a thrall who remembered too much, all could vanish. Banished not for what they did, but for what they represented. Chaos in a world held together by fragile trust. One man, exiled for betrayal, reportedly built a tiny shelter at the edge of the fjord. Night after night, he watched fires flicker in the distance, warmth he could never approach. When strangers passed, he begged for food. They ignored him. And still, he did not return, not because he could not, but because to return would mean death. To stay meant life with ghosts of memory. Some say the gods themselves sanctioned the exile. To live outside the circle was to live outside their protection. Storms came harder. Wolves prowled closer. Even rivers became enemies. The exiled learned that the land, too, remembered those cast away. And yet stories whispered that some exiles found strange freedom. Free from laws, free from judgment, free from expectations. But that freedom was a solitude few could endure. Human beings are not built for a life without eyes to watch them, without hands to clasp theirs, without a hearth to warm the bones. By the time winter ended, the exile was either a shadow among men or a corpse beneath the snow. Families mourned in silence, speaking his name only in dreams. And sometimes, the exiled returned, but not as the same person. He was a ghost of what he had been, carrying stories no one could touch, memories that burned with shame and survival. Exile shaped the Viking world. It was the ultimate reminder that no skill, no sword, no strength could save you from the law of the clan. It was also a mirror. For every person sent away, the living remembered what they must never do. Honor mattered. Trust mattered. Life outside the circle was unbearable. The families left behind carried guilt too. Could they have prevented it? Could they have forgiven? Could they have protected someone they loved from themselves? For some, the fear of exile became a constant shadow. Even the bravest warriors hesitated. Even the most cunning leaders paused, knowing that a single act could erase them entirely. And in that, there was a kind of order. Fear and loyalty, punishment and mercy, all woven into a delicate balance. But the consequences were human and eternal. Some exiles died, some returned hollow, and some became legends whispered on dark nights. Stories that warned, stories that fascinated, stories that haunted. And still, even today, we do not fully understand the weight of banishment. The exiled walked into unknown lands, carrying sins, secrets, and a heart that no hearth could welcome. Would you have survived alone? Or would the shadow of the clan follow you forever, even in the silence of your own breath?